The appearance of the State of Israel on the world map is one of the most amazing events in the political life of the 20th century. Moreover, the founding date of Israel is only the final point, which was preceded by decades of struggle and conflicts. In this video, I will tell you how the Jews managed to create their own state. You will learn how the world's superpowers decided the fate of the new country, who helped and who hindered the creation of Israel, and also why just 24 hours after the country was formed, 5 states declared war on it. My name is Nick. Please subscribe to my channel right now and let's get started. So let's go. The first mention of the word Israel was found in the 13th century BC. However, it makes sense to begin our history from the moment when the province of Judea came under the rule of the Roman Empire, at the turn of the Old and New eras. The significant events of those times were the First Jewish War in 66 to 73 AD and the destruction of the Second Temple of Jerusalem in the year 70. These events led to the expulsion of the Jews from Judea and the suppression of the Second Jewish Revolt in 132 to 136. The Romans even renamed Jerusalem Aelia Capitolina and called this territory Syria Palestine, trying to erase the memory of the ancient Jewish state. Later, in the Middle Ages, Jews were scattered throughout the world and were forced to adopt in the cultures of different countries. However, despite centuries of exile and division, the Jewish diaspora has managed to maintain its unique identity. During this period, the phenomenon of anti-Semitism appeared. In Europe, one of the reasons for anti-Semitism was the identity of the Jews. When education was rare, many believed that people with different cultures and customs weren't only strangers, but also potential enemies. Emancipation in the second half of the 19th century gave Jews equal civil rights, but stirred anti-Semitic sentiment due to their success in education and employment. Jews provided education for their children, which gave them a competitive advantage. They also developed an analytical mind and innovative thinking in children. As a result, they held important positions in science, commerce, and government, causing a rise in anti-Semitism. If you are interested in historical events and processes, then especially for you, I have created a series of 365 illustrated books, each of which tells about the events, holidays, and people of one specific day. This is the best birthday gift. Check it out at the link in the description. And we continue. In 1882, the first significant wave of Jewish return to the Holy Land, then under Ottoman rule, began. About 35,000 Jews moved to this region, fleeing from pogroms in Eastern Europe, to unite with the 20,000 Jews already living in Ottoman Palestine. This period in Jewish history is known as the First Aliyah, and its successful implementation was possible thanks to the financial and organizational support of a wealthy French Jew, Baron Edmond of Rothschild. The further history of repatriation includes several waves associated with different events, such as Jewish pogroms in Europe and Russia, Second World War, the Holocaust, mass expulsion of Jews from Arab countries, evacuation from Yemen and Ethiopia, permission for Jews to leave the USSR, and etc. The emergence of Zionism is also associated with this period. Zionism is an ideology that calls on the Jews of the world to return to their historical homeland, the land of Israel, for the revival of the Jewish state. The term Zionism comes from the name of Mount Zion in Jerusalem, symbolizing the historical homeland for the Jews. The founder of political Zionism and the creator of the World Zionist Organization was the Austro-Hungarian writer journalist and lawyer of Jewish origin, Theodor Herzl. In his youth, he lived in various European countries, including Vienna and Paris, where he encountered anti-Semitism and observed various manifestations of hostility towards Jews. Herzl became convinced that in order to solve the Jewish problem, it was necessary for the Jews to return to their historical homeland and found their own state. His program was presented in his book The Jewish State, an experience in a modern solution of the Jewish question, which was published in 1896. The main idea of the book is that the Jewish question should be solved not by moving from one country to another or assimilation, but by creating a new independent Jewish state. A political solution to the Jewish question must be agreed upon with the great powers. The mass resettlement of Jews into a Jewish state, Herzl wrote, would be carried out in accordance with the Charter, which openly recognized their right to settlement and international guarantees. According to Herzl, the formation of such a state should be carried out according to a pre-thought-out plan and using all modern scientific and technical achievements. The Jewish state must be imbued with the spirit of social progress and equality. Other nationalities must have equal rights with Jews. In 1897, on Herzl's initiative, the first Zionist Congress was held in Basel, Switzerland, at which the World Zionist Organization was officially created. This organization began to work to protect the interests of Jews and to promote the creation of Jewish state. Herzl died in 1904, but his ideas and influence were profound and continued to inspire the Zionist movement. In 1949, after the reformation of the State of Israel, his remains were transported from Vienna and reburied on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem. The mountain has become a site of remembrance and burial place for many Israeli leaders and soldiers, and is home to Israel's National Holocaust Memorial and Museum, Yad Vashem. In 1904, the Second Aliyah began, which lasted 10 years and brought about 40,000 people to Ottoman Palestine, mostly natives of the Russian Empire fleeing for pogroms. The Second Aliyah was marked by the active creation of kibbutzim, agricultural communes, and the creation of the paramilitary organization Hash Omer to protect settlers in Palestine. Also at this time, the private Anglo-Palestine Bank and the Hebrew University of Jerusalem were established, which subsequently became of great importance. The geopolitical landscape of this region changed dramatically during the First World War, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed. The British Empire seized control of Palestine and pledged to promote the creation of a Jewish homeland. In 1917, the Balfour Declaration was adopted, which became a turning point in the creation of Israel. This historical document expressed British support for the creation of a national home for the Jews in Palestine. At the same time, it contained a commitment to respect the rights of non-Jewish communities living in the region. As Jewish immigration to Palestine increased in the 1920s and 30s, tensions between Jews and Arabs increased. The violent clashes and protests attracted international attention, promoting Britain to impose restrictions on Jewish immigration to appease the Arab population. In 1939, strict resettlement quotas were established. Only 75,000 people over 5 years, which, under the conditions of the Holocaust, was tantamount to death for hundreds of thousands of Jews from Germany. At this time, the Haganah emerged, a Jewish self-defense organization opposing Arab and British threats, which turned out to be an important element in the struggle for Israeli independence. Following the event of the Holocaust and the Second World War, in which millions of Jews perished, the need for an independent Jewish state to ensure their future security became apparent. The British mandate for Palestine was also due to end in 1948. In the context of the situation and the creation of the United Nations, on the 29th of November in 1947, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution dividing Palestine into two independent states, one for Jews and one for Arabs. The cities of Jerusalem and Bethlehem, which had sacred significance for many religions, were to be under international control. On the 14th of May in 1948, just hours before the end of the British Mandate Our Palestine, David Ben-Gurion, an important figure in the Zionist movement and leader of a left-wing political group, declared Israel's independence. Following Israel's declaration of independence, United Arab forces, including Egypt, Syria, Transjordan, Lebanon, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Sudan, declared war on the new state. Despite the Arab numerical superiority, Israel was able to organize a powerful and motivated army. The war lasted until the 20th of July in 1949, and Israel won decisive victories on the various fronts, despite the difficult conditions in the conflict. Already in May in 1949, when Israel's victory was obvious, the Jewish state became a member of the United Nations. Although speaking about the Jewish state, we must understand that it eventually became home to a very large number of Arabs, who now enjoy full rights and have their own representation in parliament. They have the third largest faction in the Knesset. Against all odds, Israel emerged victorious from the war, securing its place on the world map. Over the years, this young state has flourished, becoming a beacon of innovation, technology, and vibrant democracy in the Middle East. Today, it stands as a testament to the strength and resilience of its people in the face of ongoing confrontations with radical Islamist organizations and countries that literally surround Israel. And that's all for today. Write in the comments what you think about this topic. And also, don't forget to press the like button for this video. And as always, stay curious and stay informed. Bye!